What's up? Welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now live here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, as always, we appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. A lot of interesting buzz coming out of Indianapolis during the NFL Combine, and it doesn't just have to do with the 2023 NFL Draft. This is really the first time that general managers can meet up and link up with agents to see what the asking price is going to be for some of their respective clients and those free agents. So a lot to discuss on today's show, as well as a Jalen Hurts contract update. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of fun as always and inform you in the process. First though, we're coming to you from the Chat Sports Studios in Dallas, Texas, where the Cowboys still have not made it to an NFC Championship game in 28 years. So where are you? Let us know down in the comment section. We'll start to give you some shout outs here to some of our loyal viewers who have those notifications on, who are piling into the show, who want to be informed on all things happening with this football team here. So let us know where you are. We'll start to give you some shout outs here. I see Spirit Hunter. He's in the comment section. Truz and the BZ also in the comment section. Peter Thurman, Delco in the house. Deborah Kaiser is always here. Mr. Awesome Guy tuned in from Fishtown. Very good spot in Philadelphia, by the way. A lot of good eateries, bars, places to go. J400 in Philadelphia. Mobile, Alabama from Ontarius. Dog is in the house. Jake, where do you think Bijan Robinson is going to go? If he's at 30 and the Eagles are picking, I'd certainly be tempted. I think somewhere in the 20s, though. Junior Vila, Albuquerque, New Mexico. South Carolina by way of Philly from Deborah. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones saying, yo, I hate the Eagles from Dog. Well, Dog, why are you watching Philadelphia Eagles now? Chuck, yo, Chase, South Carolina. What's up, Chuck? And Pooh Mines, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Mike is in Connecticut. Dover, Delaware is in the house. Russell Shannon. Trade that pick, but still get that running back from Texas. So Russell Shannon, a big Bijan Robinson guy. Fort Wayne, Indiana from Braxton Reed. NFL Combine going on in Indianapolis. Spirit Hunter, did you like the trade idea from the comment section yesterday with Slay and Watkins package? Was that the one for DK Metcalf there, Spirit Hunter? I did see that. Stephen Bagley is in Las Vegas, just like our guy Potion. Potion, where you at? Brian Omlor. Eagles fans sulking in Kansas City. I understand, man. We're all sulking right now after that Super Bowl 57 loss. Speaking of the NFL draft, in the scouting combine, defensive linemen right now are running their 40-yard dashes. What's the biggest area of need in the draft for the Eagles? I think defensive line. You could go edge. You could go defensive tackle. Wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles go offensive tackle, cornerback, safety, wide receiver 3. I think all of those are needs. And then depending on what happens at that linebacker spot, maybe they try to draft a backer. If not, sign one in free agency. Peter Thurman, defensive line, I agree. Ant Dodd saying Delaware, go Birds. Junior, I would definitely love to see Bijan in this offense. He'd be amazing. He really would be. An excellent fit. Spirit Hunter, Chase, it was Slay and Watkins for a cornerback and wide receiver needing team for a package of picks because we need those picks. The Eagles still have a lot of picks, though, Spirit Hunter. So by trading away Slay and Watkins, you got to get something good back. And keep in mind that you're going to be a Super Bowl contender next year. So rookies might not be able to bring you to the promised land. Jalen Carter at number 10 from Justin Cobb. We're actually going to talk about him in our first segment today. But Peter Thurman saying defensive line, I like it. Peter Thurman, did you see Juju's TikTok BS? Honestly, Juju Smith-Schuster wears me out. He's exhausting. I honestly wouldn't want him on my football team. I think he's extremely corny, and I think a lot of players across the NFL feel the same. Now, from the NFL Combine, Tom Downey and Sam Brown are there all throughout this week. They've been doing a lot of interviews with some prospective Eagles draft targets and prospects, and we've been putting up some really cool content on our YouTube Shorts page. So if you're checking us out here on YouTube, all you have to do is go over to Shorts, and these are minute-long clips, kind of like TikToks that we've been putting up there. So if you want even more content on the Eagles from some of these draft prospects, interviews, clips from the shows, interactive content. Make sure you check out our YouTube shorts because we certainly pride ourselves in doing it all here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. And if you want to join the show today, a couple of ways for you to do that. Use the hashtag Eagles or better yet, Super Chat to get featured on the program. We do have a great Super Chat menu in store today, and we have another actual Super Chat menu item that we're going to give out because Squidward Tentacles never claimed this after the Super Bowl. So our Eagles Man Cave sign is up for grabs today. The biggest solo Super Chatter will be our Super Chat MVP. We'll send you this sign if it's over $100. But other than that, you can get on the sign, and we'll put your name on it for $5. $10, you spin the wheel. $20 beer cheers. $50, I'll do a coffee bong. So I'll put this in a beer bong. And then to our Super Chat MVP, you will be the winner of our Eagles Man Cave item. If you're ready to start the show, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. We have some real ones in the house right now. Lion Fighter X is back. Peter Thurman is here. I saw Deborah Kaiser in there and everybody else who's commenting right now. Unspoken words, damn right about Juju Smith. Even his name is a joke. Look, the dude was so washed before Patrick Mahomes brought him back last year. So he's got to be really, really careful there. Jeff Phillips with the $10 Super Chat. That kicks things off here. We appreciate that, Jeff. We'll get that Super Chat popped up on the screen. I want Jalen Carter. Then the best cornerback left at 30, or Bijan if he's still there. Jeff, you share a lot of my same thoughts when it comes to this Eagles draft. Jalen Carter falling to 10, I would be tempted. Of course, if the legal situation checks out, then you go cornerback at number 30 like Akili Ringo if he's still there, or Bijan Robinson at number 30. Those are immediate players who I think would be able to help this football team. Let's take a look back at that Super Chat menu to see what Jeff Phillips had paid for there. Appreciate that, Jeff. It's going to be a wheel spin for Jeff. So let's spin that wheel here and see what we land on, and we'll do whatever we land on here. Wheel spin for Jeff. Getting things started with the $10 donation. Philadelphia Eagles Now. Very nice. How much? How much? $10 from Jeff Phillips. There you go. A Borat voice landed on the wheel for that $10 Super Chat. Jeff, thank you so kindly for your donation. Very nice of you. For whoever sends in a Super Chat, it allows us to build our staff. It allows me to give you videos every single day, make new studios here at Chat Sports. They do go a long way in supporting us. All right, we're about to get the show started here. Rapid fire type PHI for Philadelphia if you're in fact a real one. Trace got it started as you see all the PHIs in the comment section. If you're a real one and you're ready for the show to start, I want you to type PHI. Matthew Flores, Joseph Krager, Spirit Hunter, Anpu, Jr., Peter, Matthew, Big Ben, Brosis Max, Jake, Chuck Hutton, Ontarius, Tyler, Cool Rains is back. Good day, mate. Peter Thurman, Junior Vila, 70 people watching live, 38 likes. Also, pepper that thumbs up icon and like the video. Can we get the 50 likes before we officially start the show? I'm ready to talk some Philadelphia Eagles, man. We're at an interesting spot here in this offseason. Not much going on right now with free agency set to start with the tampering period on March 13th. The NFL Scouting Combine is going on as we speak, but there's still plenty to discuss as it pertains to this football team. So without further ado, keep typing those PHIs, like the video, sit back and relax because the official show starts right now on Eagles Now. All right, let's ride. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now right here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you are having a fantastic week, and we appreciate all of you for watching because we have another loaded show coming your way on the docket. I do want to begin with this, though. This is a pivotal offseason for this football team coming off a Super Bowl 57 loss. Several starters expected to be free agents, and I think this team is going to be a lot different in 2023 than it was in 2022. But if you're excited to see what the Birds do this offseason, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video because I'm anticipating that Howie Roseman going to be very busy over the next couple of months. Let's begin today's show with this. Could Jalen Carter, the stud defensive tackle from the Georgia Bulldogs, fall to the Eagles at number 10 following his legal situation? And if everything checks out, I'd be highly intrigued by the Birds taking him at that 10th spot. Right now, he's currently back in Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine to do some of his interviews with teams as well as do his measurements, as today at the NFL Combine, defensive linemen are working out, running their 40-yard dashes. An arrest warrant was issued for him on Wednesday for his alleged role in a fatal crash after the Bulldogs won the national championship, and he was wanted on a charge of reckless driving. Now, the big question here: how will this legal situation impact the draft board? Because Jalen Carter, according to many accounts, was a potential player to go at number 1 to the Chicago Bears. But is he going to slide down draft boards now because of this legal situation? And if he does, he's an option for the Philadelphia Eagles at number 10. If everything checks out legally for Jalen Carter and he is cleared of any wrongdoing and he doesn't have any charges against him, he's what the Eagles love in a defensive tackle. He's very versatile. He has great size. Last year, in 2021, while playing with the Georgia Bulldogs, it wasn't Jordan Davis who was the best player on that team. A lot of people were talking about Jalen Carter as the best player and defensive lineman on that team that also won a national championship. And for the Eagles, it would make sense to think about taking Carter at number 10. Javon Hargrave is going to be a free agent. He could cash in the neighborhood of about $20 million per year. Fletcher Cox also going to be a free agent, and I have an inclination that he is not going to take a hometown discount. So then, if you take Carter, you team him up with his former Georgia teammate in Jordan Davis, and I think at those two defensive tackle spots, you start to groom them to potentially be one of the best defensive tackle combinations in the National Football League. When you talk about Jalen Carter, he's a stud. He's a franchise cornerstone. This is a building block that can be a part of your franchise and a pillar of it for the next 8 to 10 years. But of course, we're going to have to see how this legal situation plays out, which made huge headlines on day one of the Combine. Here is the statement from the Athens Clark County Police Department about Carter and why they wanted him to come back to Georgia to figure out what's going on with this certain matter, a matter in which 2 people did pass away after the Bulldogs won that national championship. The investigation found that Chandler LaCroix, driver of the 2021 Ford Expedition, and Jalen Carter, driver of a 2021 Jeep Trackhawk, were operating their vehicles in a manner consistent with racing shortly after leaving the downtown Athens area at about 2:30 a.m. The evidence demonstrated that both vehicles switched between lanes, drove in the center turn lane, drove in opposite lanes of travel, overtook other motorists, and drove at high rates of speed in an apparent attempt to outdistance each other. And the other car, unfortunately, crashed into some telephone poles, and 2 people passed away, a player on the Bulldogs roster as well as a staff member. So obviously this is somewhat risky, and there's still some things to figure out. But if everything does check out and Carter falls to the Eagles at number 10, what would you do if you were in the shoes of Howie Roseman? D for draft, R for too risky? Let me know down in the comment section. Here is the statement from Carter. This was before he went back to Indianapolis for the scouting combine. It is my intention to return to Athens to answer the misdemeanor charges against me and to make certain that the complete and accurate truth is presented. There is no question in my mind that when all of the facts are known, I will be fully exonerated of any criminal wrongdoing. So him and his lawyer, they feel good about this case currently. So once again, you look at this question here, and you look at the statement from the police department and Jalen Carter's statement. Have you come to a conclusion here? Have you changed your mind? Share your thoughts down below with us. Why the Eagles could think about drafting him. When I scout him, dude's a freak. 6'3", 300 pounds. A Pro Football Focus grade of 92.3 last year. He's very fast and twitchy for his size. He gets around blocks like a linebacker because he has really good bend, even though he is 300 pounds. I like his versatility. He can play outside. He can play inside. And the Eagles love to stack up on defensive linemen, and They have those two aforementioned free agents, Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox. And you look at his snaps by alignment here. This goes to show you the versatility that he has. So you take a look at the gaps here, the A gaps and the B gaps. So he lined up on the A gap, that's kind of nose tackle position, 30 snaps last year with Georgia. He was on the B gap on 255 snaps and had a Pro Football Focus grade of 92.3. He was over the tackle on kind of that edge spot, 83 snaps for a grade of 80, and he was outside the tackle on 20 snaps and had a Pro Football Focus grade of 79.4. So Jalen Carter has freakish athletic ability. He's really twitchy, has good bend, getting around offensive linemen. He can certainly exploit mismatches going up against slow and sluggish centers and guards, but as you see with the alignment here, he can also line up against the tackle and even outside the tackle if Sean Desai wants to get creative with this Eagles defensive formation. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're a real one, because we've been doing draft content every single week, scouting profiles on a lot of these prospective draft targets for Philadelphia. And, of course, whenever news happens, like Sean Desai getting hired, Brian Johnson getting promoted, we had 2 videos out faster than any other YouTube channel. So subscribe today, turn on your notifications. Therefore, when we do go live or we push out a video, you will be notified. Coming up next on the show, Howie Roseman says that Jalen Hurts deserves a bag with the new contract extension, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, according to all reports out there, a huge priority for Philadelphia in free agency. But first, have to give a shout out to our sponsor, Cultivate, for making today's Philadelphia Eagles now possible. Head to wecultivate.us/chatsports to have a more safe shopping experience, and also that helps you save some money as well. Cultivate is a free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, and product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs, such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you could pick up the same day. Cultivate users also earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more in donations you get by increasing your level. I used it the other day. I put some items in my cart to test it out. I had the items in my cart, but then Cultivate was able to populate either same or similar items for a fraction of the price at stores that were local for me. So what are you waiting for? Head to wecultivate.us/chatsports. Download Cultivate for free and let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. Support the show. Download it with our link. It's down in the comment section and in the description of today's video. Here's the latest on Jalen Hurts' contract here. Howie Roseman saying from the NFL Combine that Hurts deserves a, quote, tremendous contract. For Jalen Hurts, it's a really safe investment for the Philadelphia Eagles to give him a contract extension because he has everything that you want in a franchise quarterback and for a guy who is already the face of your franchise. Work ethic, check. Good character, he has it. Leadership qualities, he displayed that all throughout this year as the locker room really rallied around him. Intangibles, he has it at that quarterback position, which I think is really paramount as a leader of the football team, and no character concerns at all throughout his entire life. Here's what Roseman had to say about giving his quarterback a big payday. You want to find something that he feels really good about with this contract, and at the same time that we feel good about, and surround him with good players. He knows that. He's a smart guy. He understands that. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be a tremendous contract for him, because he deserves that too. So there's the tremendous contract part of that. He has elite arm strength. Anything you tell him to do, you saw his completion percentage, his accuracy jump. At the end of the day, he has special talent, and you combine that with the special football mind and special work ethic, and it gives him a chance to be a special player. My hope for this new Jalen Hurts contract extension, he's talked about how he's all about the team. We know that he has great leadership qualities and intangibles. He's a great leader for this organization. If he takes a team-friendly deal, he'll become a lifelong hero in the city of Philadelphia because fans understand that when quarterbacks are given $50 million per year, that can gut the rest of your roster. And you can have a top-heavy team like, let's say, the fraudulent Dallas Cowboys. They paid Dak Prescott all that money. That's why they have a bunch of holes across that roster. But by taking a team-friendly deal, Jalen Hurts could allow the Eagles to surround him with premier offensive talent, to give Devontae Smith, so to speak, a large contract and still have A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert, a really good offensive line, and to have a deep and talented roster as well. So, what do you think? You know all about Jalen Hurts and how he carries himself. Will he take a hometown discount? Why for yes and for no? Next up, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a huge priority for the Eagles in free agency. This is something that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, and this is something that we talked about after I interviewed him during Super Bowl week when I asked him point blank, do you want to come back to Philadelphia? He said, who wouldn't want to come back here? It's a great place. I love it here. This coming from Fox Sports, re-signing C.D. Deuce, a high priority for the Eagles according to a team source, though he might be looking to become one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL, which would be hard for the Eagles to do. If they can't, they may have to get creative to find someone to fill his shoes, or what Philadelphia could also do is just levy the franchise tag. Now, Howie Roseman is very smart with how he does these contracts. The Eagles as an organization have not used a franchise tag on a player since 2012 with Deshaun Jackson back at the time. I'd love to bring him back if it comes at the right cost. If he wants to be one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson, still in his mid-20s, he showed that he could go from nickel cornerback to safety. He's really valuable, and he could be a building block for this defense for a long while. And I love the swagger and the confidence that he also brings to this defense. Before we hop on out of here for this segment, if you want to interact with me, if you have a question about the Eagles during the draft and free agency, make sure you hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both platforms. All right, let's give some shout-outs to the people. And for those of you just tuning in, stay tuned. We're only getting started on today's show. We did have a $5 super chat come in from LFX, our guy with the 5-piece. So we're going to put him on this man cave sign here. And we'll tell you more about that coming up. So a $5 donation from our boy LFX. Hey fam, I've been lurking, got laid off and have been bummed. Oh well, on to bigger and better things. Real one, go Birds. Brother, so sorry to hear that. Hope that you're able to land on your feet as soon as possible. You've been a real one here on Eagles Now for a long, long time and on Philadelphia 76ers now. We do really appreciate that. So everybody type LFX. Do that in the comment section right now to wish him some luck in finding a new gig. And you said it here first, my man. On to bigger and better things. For that employer, that's their loss. And it's your gain because you're going to move on to bigger and better things. So type LFX in the comment section to show a real one some love and a diehard fan of the Bird Gang. Josh Fever, I see ya. Curtis Sharp, Cool Rains, Mr. Awesome Guy, Ryan Rowe, Spirit Hunter, Rob Carr, Trayvon, Junior Vila, all type in that LFX. If you want to get on the show, a couple of ways for you to do that. Hashtag Eagles Horse Super Chat to get featured on the program here. We have 123 people watching live, 63 likes. Let's get to 100 likes as soon as possible. And, of course, we're always down to have a good time. Here's our Super Chat menu. $5, you'll sign the Man Cave sign. $10, spin the wheel. $20, that's a beer cheers. $50, all beer bung, a coffee. And our biggest Super Chatter of the day, if it's $100 or more, you'll become our Super Chat MVP. And you'll win this autograph sign. If you don't want to give us that big of a super chat, $5 will get your name on here. That is our super chat menu. All right, we're going to talk Will Anderson next and an exclusive interview with him. You have that in the bucket ready to rock. And we're also going to take a look at who some of the players are that Mel Kiper has going to the Birds in his latest 2023 NFL mock draft. So stay tuned for that. Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. 65 likes, got to increase that. Continue to get the comment section popping. If you want to send in a donation, we greatly appreciate that. 2 segments left, so let's get to our second segment right now. Coming your way on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now, we're going to talk about Will Anderson, the stud edge rusher out of Alabama, and how he's a dream target for the Eagles. Could he fall to the birds at number 10, or could Howie Roseman get aggressive in trying to trade up for him, considering he's one of the best players in this draft class? We also have an exclusive interview with Will Anderson from the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis, as our team is working hard there. And we're going to take a look at some players who Mel Kiper has going to the Eagles in his latest 2023 NFL mock draft to fill up some needs on this Eagles roster. Let's start with the aforementioned Will Anderson here. When you talk about dream draft targets for this football team, scheme fit, athletic fit, and him overall just being a stud, Will Anderson is that guy. I can make the argument he should be taken number 1 in this draft class. Is there any chance that he could fall to the Eagles at number 10, or could Howie Roseman try to scheme something up to try to trade up if he does fall out of that number 1 position to try to take him to have him on the opposite side of Hassan Reddick, who we talked about in that interview? First, though, I want to hear from you down in the comment section. I know we have a lot of NFL draft gurus here who watch the show. So who is your favorite prospect in this 2023 NFL draft? Is it Anderson or somebody else? Drop me a name down below. Nuggets from Anderson in that interview that we're going to show you later on today's show. He likes how the Eagles use their edge rushers, both Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, and he wouldn't mind being used like Hassan Reddick, who's kind of that hybrid who plays a lot like Will Anderson. Now, Hassan Reddick is about 235 pounds. Will Anderson checked in at the Scouting Combine. He was north of 250 pounds, but he's a stand-up edge rusher who can also drop back in coverage, and make sure you stay tuned for that exclusive interview with Anderson, because he had some interesting things to say about how he wants to be utilized and what he learned at the football powerhouse that is Alabama. And speaking of his time at Alabama, 39 games played. He became a sensation after his freshman year when he was just going off. And then in his sophomore campaign and junior seasons, he still was able to maintain that and play really good football. A historic career for him. 204 tackles in 39 games played, 59 tackles for loss. The most notable number here in 39 career games, 34 and a half sacks. That is unbelievable production. As a freshman, Will Anderson had 60 quarterback pressures. As a sophomore, he had 82. As a junior, he had 64. That is 206 total quarterback pressures over 3 years. And during that time frame, that is 55 more than any other player in college football. I've watched a lot of tape of Will Anderson. We've seen live game action of him, and he always pops off the screen. At Alabama, he was listed at 6'4", 243. He weighed in at the Scouting Combine at more than 250 pounds. Some of that could be water weight to impress a lot of these teams, but his playing weight, probably as a rookie, going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 240 to 250 pounds. Like Hassan Reddick, an elite first step to catch opposing offensive linemen off guard. That's what Reddick was able to do so well, and that's why he had 19 and a half sacks all throughout the regular season combined with the playoffs. The athletic flexibility off the edge, it's uncanny. He has this bend where he can dip under offensive tackles, which allows him to get to the quarterback with that really good burst in athleticism. He averaged 734 snaps per year, so he's consistently been durable without many injury concerns. As for what he needs to work on, more pass rush moves. I think that coming out of Temple, that's something that Hassan Reddick needed to improve upon. He was able to do that. The only player in NFL history was Reddick to have 3 consecutive seasons with at least 10 sacks on 3 different teams. None better than in 2022 when he had a career season. Anderson, a lot like Hassan Reddick for the reasons that I talked about. He has bend. He has burst. He is no doubt a 3-down edge, but he even mentioned it himself. He's comfortable with dropping back in coverage because that's what Nick Saban asked him to do a lot in that Alabama defense. As for what we're getting into next, that interview with Will Anderson, and who do the Eagles pick in Mel Kiper's latest 2023 NFL mock draft? Some interesting scouting profiles on those players. First, though, a wonderful deal that we want to tell you about here on Eagles Now. thanks to our friends at Fanatics. And please make sure you use that link down below so that they know that Eagles now sent you. These conference championship t-shirts were $35 when they first came out. They are 50% off right now for only $17. I know we wish that they were Super Bowl championship shirts, but winning the NFC is certainly a big deal, and they're going to hang a banner at Lincoln Financial Field. You can rock that banner on your chest, chatsports.com/EaglesNFC. Now let's get to our interview with Will Anderson. He talked about how he likes how the Eagles use their edge rushers in this scheme that they run, and I think that scheme from Jonathan Gannon to Sean Desai isn't going to change all that much, and he alluded to being used like Hassan Reddick at the next level. Can you imagine what it would be like to have Reddick on one side and Will Anderson on the other? My goodness, quarterbacks, they'd be scared.
You can see what the coach did at Philadelphia. He had his guys on the edge going. That's something that, I really like. Get on the edge and go. So I'm very excited about that. All these guys are great, very athletic, can pass rush. I'm super excited. All the work has been good, but I feel like what I bring to the table is just consistency, being humble. Whatever culture I'm in, I'm going to do things the right way, and I think that's what sets me apart. Yeah, it means a lot. That just shows all your hard work has been paying off. All the sacrifices, blood, sweat, and tears you've been doing to get up into this moment. It's super exciting. It's a blessing. Yeah, for me, I like the forklift move. I like to watch Nick Bosa a lot. I like the way he do his bull swipe and stuff like that, so I try to implement that in my game. I feel like football is all about embracing the change. So, no matter, what type of defense I get in, I'm going to adapt to it, and I'm going to be able to embrace the change and embrace the challenge that's there and, learn the lessons that come with it. And that's what I'm very excited about. Just whatever defense I get in, learning how to operate throughout it and having fun doing it. It's about what you have in here, and that's what's carried me to this point of my life. Always knowing that whatever I got going on, my mentality, my mindset is not going to change, and that's what I approach during a week of practice, and that's what I approach in the game. Being at Alabama made me very versatile, dropping in coverage, playing the 4-5 technique, 6 technique, 7, all that type of stuff, helping me, learn pass rush moves, run. So when I dissect myself, I see myself as a very versatile player that can do just about anything, but that's thanks to Coach Saban. He trusted me a lot. He's seen a lot in me. He's seen the potential, and it helped me mold the player I am today. So when I look back at myself, I just feel like Alabama made me a very versatile player. Yeah, just working in space, working on my flexibility and mobility. This whole training season, whole off season right now I've been doing, that's really one of the biggest things that I've been working on is my mobility and flexibility.
Appreciate our hardworking crew in Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine, having wonderful opportunities to bring you content like that from Will Anderson. And let's stick with the draft here on today's show. Mel Kiper, ESPN's draft expert, he's pitting two interesting players to the Eagles at 10 as well as at number 30. At that number 10 pick, it's a potential future Lane Johnson replacement in Peter Skoronski, the tackle out of Northwestern. This dude is really, really good, and Mel Kiper Jr. said he's the best tackle in this draft class. Quote, let's keep a strength for the Eagles, with right guard Isaac Seumalo a free agent and center Jason Kelce mulling retirement. Why not take the best lineman in this class? Cam Jurgens, a second-round pick last year, likely would slot in Kelce's place, while Skoronski could fill the void at right guard. Some teams believe Skoronski would be a better fit at guard than tackle, even though he started 33 games at left tackle in college. No matter where he plays, he should be an instant player. Now, to start, I alluded to him maybe being a future Lane Johnson replacement. Skoronski does have the ability to play left tackle. He has the ability to play right tackle. Why it would make sense for Philadelphia to draft him right now? Yes, he has 33 games of starting experience as a left tackle in college football. That doesn't mean that at some point down the road, he can't pivot back out to tackle either for Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson. In the meantime, look, if Jason Kelce does retire, you got Cam Jurgens last year in the second round out of Nebraska. If Isaac Seumalo can get $8 to $10 million in free agency, you replace him with a player, fraction of the price, and Peter Skoronski, he could play right guard. Then at some point down the road, he can shift back out to tackle, the more valuable spot along that offensive line. But you're able to get really good value for him because he can step in and play right away. Scouting profile on the stud from Northwestern, 6'4", 315 pounds. He's a technician when it comes to playing offensive line. So that means that Jeff Stoutland, the best offensive line coach in football, would straight up love Peter Skoronski and working with him. Great feat for an offensive lineman, and that's why he flourished at tackle, but that's why he can also flourish at guard, especially on some of those pull blocks in open space like the Eagles like to deploy in their offense. Lots of experience, as we talked about. He stepped in for Rashawn Slater a couple of years ago as a true freshman and didn't miss a beat in the Big Ten going up against some premier edge rushers. His arms are a little bit short. That's why some teams across the NFL figure that he can maybe play better at guard than tackle. I think that he can certainly play both and play both at a very, very high level. Now to the Eagles' 30th overall pick. Kalijah Kancey is an undersized defensive tackle from Pitt who has some quickness, and you could get some really good value at number 30 with him. His size concerns me a little bit, and Mel Kiper even said that. Kancey is an undersized 280-pound defensive tackle who could play the three-technique spot next to 2022 first-rounder Jordan Davis, rushing the passer from the interior, and generally wreaking havoc on guards and centers. Kancey likely is a fit only for teams that play a 4-3, but he explodes into backfields at the snap. Undersized defensive tackles do scare me a little bit. Like 280 pounds at defensive tackle on the interior, that's a little bit light. Now, Aaron Donald, he's also considered and deemed an undersized defensive tackle, but he's a freak, and his technique is absolutely awesome. This is an interesting player, though, because if you want to move forward with two players on their rookie contracts who are very affordable, and you let an expensive Javon Hargrave go, and Fletcher Cox, if he's looking to cash in one more time, then Kancey could be in play at number 30 overall. He can, because he is a little bit faster, even though he is undersized, win some of those mismatches against slower plotting centers and guards. And for a lot of people who may be confused about what the Eagles are going to do defensively now with Sean Desai, because he's a Vic Fangio disciple, I don't think that you're going to see a bunch of 3-4. I think you're going to see what we saw last year. It's that hybrid 4-3 with some 3-4 look. Sometimes there would be 4 down defensive linemen with Hassan Reddick as the stand-up pass rusher. Sometimes there would be 3 down defensive linemen with Reddick as the stand-up pass rusher. And sometimes, not often and not much, because you want him getting after the quarterback, Reddick would then drop back in coverage for a different look against that offense. With that, let's round out this segment with this poll question. What's the biggest area of need in the draft for the Eagles? I'm going to go defensive line. That's why some of these prospects are very, very intriguing. All right, 170 people watching live. Let's go. Deborah, we love you. Brett Clark is in the house. Give me Porter or give me Death. Brett Clark, you should check out the YouTube shorts on our channel here, because Joey Porter Jr. said today during his interviews he has not formally met with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he said, Philly's a great city, and I would love to play there. If I'm Howie Roseman, I'm thinking about Joey Porter Jr. at number 10. You let James Bradbury walk, and then you have Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay. That's something that would intrigue me for sure. Tanner McKinney wants Kendre Miller, the running back from TCU. I don't think the Eagles are going to go running back for the first couple of rounds, honestly, and I think he might be a round 2, round 3 guy. Tanner McKinney said running back is the biggest need. Cool Rain said cornerback. Spirit Hunter said cornerback as well. I'm going defensive line. Mark Guest, what's up, everyone? What's up, Mark? Welcome in. All right, coming up next, we're going to do a mailbag. If you want to get featured on the show, a couple of ways for you to do that. Use the hashtag Eagles or Super Chat to get on the show. That's hashtag Eagles or Super Chat to get on the show. As of right now, we don't have any questions. So if you have a question about the Eagles in free agency or in the NFL draft, use the hashtag Eagles to get on the show. John O'Malley is in here. He's saying, yo, what's going on, y'all? John, I know you're going to use the hashtag Eagles. Techno Eagle, you use hashtag Eagles, but with no question. So use the hashtag Eagles. With all of the comments that come in, it just makes producer Trace's job a lot easier so that he can filter those comments that have the hashtag Eagles. So we're talking trades. We're talking free agency. We're doing that and a lot more. Hashtag Eagles to get featured on the show so that thousands can see your questions. I'm awake. Bijan Robinson with the happy emoji. Give me a hashtag Eagles right there. Josh Fever. We need Joey Jr. and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd like that a lot. Techno Eagle using the hashtag Eagles. Michaela Cox, hashtag Eagles. Jay Sherrod, hashtag Eagles. See, you always answer the bell. I love my city. Here's our Super Chat menu. We'd love some Super Chats to come in as well. $5, get your name on the Man Cave sign, right on the back of it. $10, we will spin the wheel. $20, we'll do a beer cheers. I haven't been able to sip this beer yet. No beer cheers have come in. If we get a $50 Super Chat, I will beer bong this coffee here. And a Super Chat MVP. If anybody sends in a Super Chat of $100 or more, we will send you this Eagles Man Cave sign. It reads, "Man controls all remotes when the Eagles play. Team colors worn at all times. What happens in the Man Cave stays in the Man Cave." This would look good in a lot of your basements here. And we have loyal subscriber signatures on the back here as well. We'll sign it for you as well. Josh Fever, coffee bong. I'll put this coffee in a beer bong and we'll rip it. We'll take it down. Rip it, tip it, sip it, as Trace likes to say. All right, a lot of good questions came in. Clap it up for everybody out there. Let's go. Now, can we get to 100 likes? 163 people watching, 82 likes. Can we get to 100 likes here? That's our next duty. If you're watching, you're enjoying the show, you love the birds, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Come on. How hot? It's a little warm. It's a little warm in here. So it won't feel great going down, but we're down to have some fun and share some laughs with everybody. I mean, I filled it up out of the Keurig before the show, and we've been live for about 40 minutes now. So it's cooled off a little bit. Still warm, though. All right. We're up to 87 likes, 13 likes away from 100. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And with that, let's answer some of your questions here on Eagles Now. Here we go. This is Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there are having a fantastic weekend. On today's show, going to do an Eagles trade rumors question and answer mailbag where you ask me about some players who the Eagles could trade for, and also a lot of you submitted your questions during our live show about some free agent targets as well as some players who the Eagles could pinpoint in the 2023 NFL Draft. Let's start off with the $10 donation from Jeff Phillips. We appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you so much for being a loyal viewer of the program. I want Jalen Carter, then the best cornerback left at 30, or Bijan Robinson if he's still there. Look, I talked about this week. Jalen Carter falling to the Eagles at number 10. I'd be intrigued if the legal situation results in him not being penalized by the law. This guy is a freak at defensive tackle. You have a need for defensive tackle, and he fits the prototype of what the Eagles look for in defensive linemen. Fast, twitchy, physical, smart, loving the game of football. So you could get extremely good value there at number 10 if he slides back a little bit. Of course, you want to make sure he doesn't have any character concerns. Do not get in a car and do not speed and drag race. The solution is pretty simple because two people lost their life in that situation. Then the best cornerback at number 30. If Keely Ringo is there, I'm all in. If somehow Joey Porter Jr. falls that late, I'm all in. Now, a lot of these players' positioning in the draft order, it's going to come down to how they perform at the NFL Combine. If Bijan Robinson is there, I don't like taking running backs in the first round. But in terms of value, could he be the best player at number 30? Yes, because I believe he's arguably the best football player in this draft class and a great scheme fit for what Philadelphia likes to do. Cool Reigns, next up. There is a mock draft that we trade down from 10 to 16. We still get Joey Porter Jr. That would be good. Would you like that if it happens? I would, because you could still get another really good pick. Maybe you fetch another second rounder to go from 10 to 16. And then if you hold on to number 30, you get a position of need at cornerback at number 16 and Joey Porter Jr., a player who I really like, who I've kind of compared to Richard Sherman because of the length and physicality. He even said that he grew up watching Richard Sherman as well as Patrick Peterson and Jalen Ramsey. And then at 30, you can get another impact player who might be a plug-and-play starter from day one. So I think that could be some pretty good value here. Do want to hear from you down in the comment section right now because we do appreciate all of your feedback. What is your level of confidence in Howie Roseman this offseason? He crushed it in the 2022 NFL offseason. Can he do the same in 2023 to get this team over the hump to win a second Lombardi trophy? Scale your level of confidence in him from 1 to 100. 1, not confident at all. 100, very confident. That's going to be our pinned comment. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down and get your votes in. John O'Malley, what's the latest on CD Deuce? The latest is what we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. It's that he is a priority for the Eagles to re-sign in free agency, and I'd advocate for the Eagles bringing him back. I really like him as a player and a building block on this defense. It's still 25 years old. Frank the Tank, could the Eagles trade for Derrick Henry? They could trade for Derrick Henry. Will they? No. Should they? No. Derrick Henry is not a scheme fit for what the Eagles like to do offensively. The Eagles run a lot of shotgun formations with Jalen Hurts in the shotgun. They run a lot of RPOs and fake handoffs out of that action. That doesn't suit what Derrick Henry likes to do well. Derrick Henry is best 5 to 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage with the quarterback who's under center so that he can gather his momentum as he gets the football with the full head of steam moving forward. I also think that Derrick Henry is starting to get a little bit older. His age is showing a little bit. He's expensive. He's going to look for a contract extension. His workload has been massive over the last several years, so that scares me. Plus, this is an Eagles organization that does not prioritize using high draft capital on a lot of running backs and or re-signing them to second contracts or paying them a lot of money. Lion Fighter, how worried are you about our cornerback situation? I'm very worried. James Bradbury is leaving, and Slay is really old for an NFL cornerback. I think that Bradbury could walk. I think that's totally realistic for him to leave. And if he wants to get paid after getting released by the Giants and settling for a one-year, $10 million deal and playing really well, being a second-team All-Pro, then I could see that happening. And if you want to go get your bag, JB, then go get your bag. As far as Darius Slay goes, the cap hit is really, really high. Between $24, $27 million on the cap hit, base salary of $17 million. He's 32 years old, but he made it to a Pro Bowl last year. I thought he played really good football. Cornerbacks do tend to age pretty well. Could Darius Slay be one of those? I hope so. And if they trade him away, I wonder what his trade value would be. Techno Eagle. Will Jalen Hurts play better this year with a better contract or experience? I think that it's in line for him to take another step. He took a big step from year 1 to year 2, and then from year 2 to year 3, he once again made a lot of progress. So Jalen Hurts has shown that he grinds, he hustles, he puts in the work. He puts in, the grind to improve his accuracy, to become a better passer, to have more touch on his throws, to continue to develop that potent deep ball, which he's had going all the way back to Alabama, honestly. It's been an underrated facet of his game. So will he play better this upcoming season? I think that he can make more improvements and make more strides. He has a new play caller in Brian Johnson, so that could be difficult. The offense is going to change just a little bit because Brian Johnson is not Shane Steichen. But I think that he could be in line to have another really big season. Michaela Cox, what about Myles Murphy? He was actually a little bit lighter than I thought he was going to be at the scouting combine. He weighed in a fraction lighter than what I thought he was going to, but he's a really, really physical football player who is a really good player who, again, fits what the Eagles are looking for and how they build their team. Howie Roseman has made no secrets about it. He likes building in the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line. Myles Murphy at 10, I'd like it. Brian Breesy at 10, I don't want them to take Brian Breesy. He has no college production. A lot of people think that he should be a top 10 pick or a first-round pick based on his physical attributes. How many times are we disappointed by a player like that? Do not draft Brian Breesy. Papa Woody, very good one. Woody from Toy Story. All-time movie. When I was young, I loved Woody. I loved Buzz Lightyear. I actually used to sleep with the Woody and Buzz Lightyear action figure. One morning, I woke up, and Woody was on the ground. And I was like, Mom, I told you he's alive. It's Toy Story. I didn't realize that, I was probably rolling around during my sleep, and he fell on the ground. Need a wide receiver 3. Could we get DeAndre Hopkins for cheap? I don't think that he's going to come for cheap. I think the Cardinals are in an interesting situation now. I'm fascinated to see what Jonathan Gannon does with that team. Kyler Murray has a torn ACL. Like, he could miss a lot of next year. DeAndre Hopkins is paid a lot of money. And how much value does he have given that contract as a trade candidate? A wide receiver 3 is not DeAndre Hopkins. He's a wide receiver 1. I think they look for a cheaper option at wide receiver 3. Like, honestly, I'd explore Odell Beckham Jr. I'd explore Mecole Hardman. I'd explore a player like that. And then you still have Quez Watkins as wide receiver 4. That's a pretty loaded wide receiver room. Lion Fighter, what's going on with the running back situation? Sanders isn't getting a bag from us, and we don't have a starting running back on our roster. According to reports, Eagles really like Kenneth Gainwell. Now, he averaged 6 yards per carry in the playoffs. This organization seems to believe that he might be a franchise back, but I think they're only saying that because he's on his rookie contract, and they don't want to pay Miles Sanders $8 to $10 million. So Gainwell as RB1, can he hold up for an entire season? Running back is a position that you can easily replace. Now, I do want to remind y'all who are watching our mailbag, we've been putting out a bunch of great content here on the channel with these long-form videos, but also on YouTube Shorts as well. They're TikTok-style 1-minute videos. Bunch of great content there from the NFL Scouting Combine and some clips from the show. Epic rants as well. Check them out there. Just another medium in which we're putting our content on here on YouTube. Jay Sherrod, Eagles backup quarterback. Couple of good ones. Marcus Mariota is a name that would intrigue me because if Jalen Hurts were to get injured and you wanted to have a similar offense with the quarterback who can run the football, Marcus Mariota fits that type of mold. We saw how there was such a difference between the offense with Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew because they're just different quarterbacks, right? So Marcus Mariota is interesting. I would really like Jacoby Brissett. Nick Sirianni has a relationship with him due to their times overlapping in Indianapolis. So those are the couple of the names that I would look at. Justin Cobb. Can we get a Byron Murphy for $7, $8 million per year in the first wave of free agency? And if OBJ makes it to the second or third wave, can we sign him for about $3 million? I think OBJ is going to prove to teams that he can stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy, and he is healthy coming off that ACL injury, he's going to sign for more than that. Now, Byron Murphy is very interesting. I think you might be able to get him at a pretty affordable price. So if James Bradbury gets between $13 to $16 million, and then you sign a Byron Murphy for 7 to 8, you're saving about $5 million, where you could bring in another pretty important player. John O'Malley, what's up, Big John? What do you think we're going to do with kick returner, punt returner? I don't remember when the last time was that we had a touchdown on special teams. Shoot. Was it Darren Sproles? Darren Sproles with the touchdown? Josh Huff before that? Man, it's been a while. I can't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, Brian Westbrook, Deshaun Jackson, Philadelphia Eagles OGs. Are they going to bring back Britton Covey? He was fair catch Covey. He was not dynamic. Can you draft a player who's really fast, day 2, day 3, to be your kick returner, punt returner? Keep an eye out for that. What's the biggest area of need in the draft for the Eagles? You tell us. You comment down below. We'll take a look at what you had to say. And as always, we appreciate you for watching the show. Papa Woody got me. Papa Woody got me. King JJ, Rager, please no. He clearly can't play. Spirit Hunter, Devin Allen's an interesting name. Can he play special teams, though? That's the big question. Yeah. He was a practice squad guy all year. Yeah, Devin Allen is the fast hurdler. Mr. Awesome Guy, that is him. Tommy Curzio, Eagles go. Techno Eagle. Do you think the Eagles will have the best offseason this year? If not, name which team. Which team could have the best offseason? The Bears have a lot of cap space. It's a make or break offseason for them and the first pick. Houston Texans, they're in a position to get a quarterback. As far as free agency spending, Colts, interesting. The Titans have cleared up a bunch of money. Rams still don't have a lot of money. If the 49ers restructure some players, they could clear up like 50 mil, and that's a team that's really good, so that's another team. So I'd say those handful of teams. Pittsburgh Steelers, kind of sneaky. What if they trade for Jalen Ramsey? What if Kenny Pickett takes a step? That's pretty interesting stuff. Yeah. Super Chat menu. We are not going to crack eggs on our head like Jack Sperry did on Pittsburgh Steelers Talk Live today. But we do have a good Super Chat menu. $5, your name goes on this man cave sign. We have a couple of names on here already. $10, we'll spin the wheel. $20, we'll do a beer cheers. I haven't been able to do one yet. I want to drink this beer and drink this coffee. All right, $50 is a coffee beer bong. I put a coffee in a beer bong. We take it down. And if anybody sends in a Super Chat, $100 or more, we had Flippin' the Bird 85 and Elijah last week going back and forth with their $100 Super Chats. We will send this to you. So what we're going to do now, a little bit of an Eagles Now happy hour before we head on out. Waffle Crusher, yo Chase, yo Eagles family. What up, Waffle? 2-minute Super Chat shot clock. If we get any Super Chats within 2 minutes, we stay live. If not, then we sign off and we call it a day. Tommy Curzio, Eagles go win 2023. That'd be great. That'd be great. 20 seconds into our Super Chat shot clock. Appreciate all of y'all for watching. If you want to continue to kick it, we can answer your questions. Send in a Super Chat. We'll reset the shot clock. Do you see the Eagles trading 30 and trade back? Maybe. Into the second round. And maybe get 2 second-round picks because you can get starters there. That's a thing a lot of teams do. At the end of the first round, they trade into the second to get 2 seconds. If a team really covets, that first rounder, you pay less in that second round. No fifth-year option, which can be good or bad. Curtis Sharp, Eagles going to be all right next year. I hope so. It's going to be a different team, though. So that concerns me a little bit. Carlos, by Jonathan Gannon. Yep, take care. All right, we're a minute into our 2-minute shot clock. Any Super Chats will stay alive. No more Super Chats, we sign off. Jay Sherrod, let's go. $2. We'll reset it. Jay. You know what? Any Super Chats that come in 2 minutes, it doesn't have to be $5 or more. Any Super Chat of any value that comes in 2 minutes, we're putting you on the man cave sign. And that includes our boy Jay Sherrod. We're getting him on here.
Who else wants to be on the man cave side? I mean, it's pretty loaded with a lot of real ones on there. If you want to join the real ones that are on the sign, I mean, you got to get on this because we're an Eagles Now family. Come on now.
Let's go. And if anybody wants to set the crib, it'll go to our Super Chat MVP, but the Super Chat has to be $100 or more. Because that's the benchmark that was set last week by Flippin' the Bird and Elijah Stovall. They both sent in $100. It was Flippin' the Bird with 100. Elijah came back with 105. Flippin' the Bird came back with 106. All right, we're a minute 7 in. John O'Malley, do you think we keep Epps or get a better safety to replace him? I'd like to keep him because he's affordable. And he was serviceable. He was serviceable and solid. So you keep him, and he's not going to demand crazy money on the market. And then maybe that allows you to pay C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Appreciate it, John. Ernesto Ojeda is back. Should Eagles fans watch the Combine to get an idea on who the fans want? Yeah, I mean, I love the Combine. We've been watching it in the office. Jay! Appreciate it, Brody. Jay Sherrod with the 10. Trade 3 and 4 draft picks to the Saints for them to replace Malcolm Jenkins to Philly. That's pretty funny, Jay, because Malcolm Jenkins is an all-time Eagles legend. When C.J. Gardner-Johnson got hurt, people had talked about bringing Jenkins out of retirement. He even said that he'd be down, but he couldn't because the Saints still owned his contractual rights. Oh, Green Hat with the 20. Let's go. Green Hat, we're putting you on the sign.
Everyone's typing J. Everyone's typing yes, let's go Birds.
Waffle Crusher.
Let's go.
Let's do this. For the rest of the show, anybody who sends in a super chat, you go on the Man Cave sign. You go on the Man Cave sign. You go on the Man Cave sign. And you go on the Man Cave sign.
Call him Oprah Sr.
And if we get, let's do this. If we get to $100 in total, we're at 48 right now. I'll do the coffee beer bong. I'll do the coffee beer bong if we get to 100 total. So everybody watching right now could send in 5 and we'd get there. So here's our super chat menu. Any super chat value, you get on the Man Cave sign. $10, we're going to do that. Spin the wheel. $20, that's a beer cheers. I'll give you a beer chug. That's for the legend. The one and only green hat. $50 will do the coffee bong. And our super chat MVP, if you send in a super chat $100 or more, we're sending you this. We're going to autograph it with some of our marquee super chatters on the back. So let's give Jay Sherrod that wheel spin. Curtis Sharp, let's go. Curtis Sharp going on the Man Cave sign. We passed 50.
All right, $48, and we are doing the coffee bong, and trust me, this thing is crazy. You guys got to see this.
$48, we're doing the coffee beer bong. Let's spin that wheel. What do we got? Trace, cue up your mic. Lil Uzi Vert, he walked the Eagles out of the tunnel in the NFC Championship game.
I just want to rock, body yada ya, Shawty got that body yada ya, hey.
Let's go.
We'll keep spinning the wheel. We have some cool stuff on here. We can do the Eagles chant. We can do 10 push-ups. I can do a coffee cheer. Chase can do a coffee cheer. We can do some karaoke, sing Fly Eagles Fly. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff on here.
Curtis Sharp said, go Trizzy.
Hey, appreciate
you. Go Trizzy, go Trizzy, go. Go Trizzy, go Trizzy, go. Go Trizzy, go Trizzy, go.
Let's go. Hey, $10 super chats. We're spinning the wheel. Any super chat. We're signing the Man Cave.
48 away from a coffee beer bong. The 2-minute shot clock is back.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes. Dose. F the Miami Heat, though. That's what their PA announcer does. I hate the Heat.
Rival Miami. We're playing the rival Miami Heat tonight.
Liam Ball said, sing Go Liam, go Steelers. No. Go Liam, go Eagles. Tommy Curzio, 2023 Phillies, go. Hey, win a World Series. Why not? All right, our super chat menu. Any super chats that come in, you go on the Man Cave sign. 10, spin that wheel. 20, beer cheers. 50, coffee bong. Super chat MVP, you win the sign if it's $100 or more, because that is what Flipping the Bird 85 and Elijah Stovall did last week. Liam Ball said, LOL, nah, go Steelers. Eagles run the state. Although, Permani Bros, I could really use one of those right now. It's a sandwich. Yes, it's a Pittsburgh staple. Really thick bread, French fries, choice of meat, and coleslaw. So I go corned beef, French fries, cold slaw, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All right, 1:30. We're approaching it on our 2-minute shot clock.
Don't make us go do work. Come on now.
I know, you're going to make us actually go do work if we don't get another super chat here. And I kind of want to do this coffee beer bong. Shoot. Yeah, there is a Steelers channel, Liam. Yeah, their host was cracking eggs over his head today. All right, 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll let about a 20-second delay come in here because I know a lot of people like to watch on delay for some reason. So 20-second delay. 20-second delay. Appreciate everybody for watching today. It's been an absolute blast as always. William Pays, bang, bang. How's it going? How's family treating you? How's work going? Fly, Eagles, fly. Everything is good, William. Everything is great. I appreciate it. Waffle Crush said, of course. We appreciate y'all. What up, Waffle? Fly, Steelers, fly. Come on, Liam. Go to the Steelers channel. All right, our 20-second delay is over, so that means that we're about to sign off. Thanks to everybody who watched today. Thanks for all of your Super Chat donations. We certainly appreciate all of that. Keep it locked here for the best draft coverage, free agency coverage. When free agency comes, we're going to be going live. We're going to be partying. We're going to be having a lot of fun. So hope you all have a great weekend, and we out here on Eagles Now.